Hi everyone, it's Bonita from Pennies to Dollars and welcome back to my channel if you are a follower, and welcome to all the new subscribers. I'm really happy to have you all here today. I am a child of Depression era parents that were born in 1929 and 1931. They raised me very frugally in a lot of the ways that they were raised. And now that I'm older, I see the significance of that, and I've returned to many of those ways that they did things. Not completely. I still use a lot of modern conveniences, but I probably don't use as many as most. And I'm fine with that. I live in the country. I have 4.5 acres here. I pay $218 a year for property taxes, and yes, you heard that right, a year. I have friends in the city that pay several hundred a month, and I've had people share with me that they pay several thousand a year based on where they live. So I'm able to live very frugally. I have my own water well. I have no trash pickup. We recycle and we burn trash. So a lot of those monthly expenses are very, very small or minimal for me. I pay about $175 a month right now for electricity. I'm trying to get that down. And I have a propane stove for heating. And that is my basic costs besides internet and phone. So I'm able to live very, very frugally, but there are ways to get ahead financially if you are not in the situation that I am in. And I do these videos to try to help people maybe come up with ideas on how to help themselves live easier lives by not having so many obligations or obligations that they can't meet. So I wanted to share some of those thoughts with you today on how to get ahead financially. My husband and I have owned 2 businesses over our time together, and out of those 2 businesses, we were able to buy one of them outright by just writing a check, and the second one we were able to pay off in half of the time that our note was for. Our note was for 13 years and we paid it off in 6.5 years. And one of the ways that we paid it off is every time we had any little amount that we could put towards that bill. I don't care if it was $10, $20. We had our loan payments set up online with the bank where I could go on and make a payment at any time. And many of us have credit cards that are set up the same way. So this is the same kind of philosophy that you could use for them. But every time I could get a hold of any little bit of money, I would transfer it over and make a payment. And I did that as often as I possibly could. It not only reduced our balance without it really feeling like I was taking huge chunks out of our household to make these payments, but it also reduced our interest. It reduced our interest that was compounded throughout the month by making short, quicker payments, reduced the length of the time of the loan, which also reduced our interest. And this made us pay much less than we would have paid if we would have just met the payments each month and not pushed ourselves that little extra bit. So doing this on your mortgage, doing this on your car if it's set up that way, doing this on your credit cards, it really makes a big difference. Those little tiny amounts, you will be surprised if you can just squeeze out another $10 here and there and keep doing that, how quickly your loan will go down and you will get so excited when you make that last payment. It is such a great feeling to be free of a payment like that is every single month and opening up that extra income. Where did I come up with some of this extra money? Well, I did side hustles. I've always worked 2 or 3 jobs. I did rebates, I did couponing, I did all of those things that we talk about on this channel. I have shared a bunch of those rebate sites and coupon sites with you before. I can link those below. But every time I would come up with enough to cash out for a little bit, I would put it towards a bill. And I encourage you to make a goal. Maybe you have a small phone bill of like $60. Make it your goal to come up with an extra $60 to pay that phone bill every single month, so that it's not coming out of your regular income. And you will find how much that opens up. Just that $60 that's coming out of your check every single time will open up so much opportunity to be able to knock down some of those other bills by making you have a little bit of extra income that you can count on. I did shops on the side, and maybe you've heard of this. There are companies where you can pretend to be a shopper, go in, do the requirements that they request of you, fill out their report, and you can get paid for that. I worked for CMS, the Medicare services. I'm a licensed nursing home administrator. I went and did Medicare assessments, making sure people were in business, making sure that they were doing what they were saying they were going to do, making sure their addresses matched where they were billing from. Little things like that. I've taken on so many odd jobs over my lifetime to come up with extra money. And a lot of these are contract jobs, which means if you don't make more than $600 a year, they don't send you any tax information to even have to claim it. So many of these things I could do and not even have to count them as real income. Now, follow up with your tax advisor, of course. So I had lots of little odd jobs that helped supplement me being able to pay off things quicker. There could be other things that you could do that wouldn't be that complicated. Maybe doing some babysitting for people, mowing lawns, taking on little sewing projects. I had a friend that had a whole side business of just hemming up pants and reducing waistlines or expanding waistlines for people and just alternating clothing. So there's so many options depending on what your skills are. I've been using those credit card rebates as well to help supplement our food budget. So I have my food budget set, and if I use my card all month long and then pay it off, I will get a good rebate at the end of the month for the things I've put on that card that can then reduce what I have overall been spending on food. And so that is one of the little tricks that I've been using. A lot of times my Discover card rebate will be about $25 a month. Well, hey, that's $25. $25 wouldn't make or break you, but if you can come up with those little tricks and those little side gigs to come up with a few that are $25, they really do make a huge difference over a year's time. So remember that you save 100% of what you don't spend. If you can knock some things out of your budget, knock out those paper towels, knock out that extra laundry detergent by cutting back on how much you're using, little areas like that, you will save 100% of what you didn't spend on those items. And again, it's like those little side hustles. They add up. If you don't have to add shampoo to your shopping list every single month, you've saved several dollars on shampoo. And it's the same with laundry detergent or anything else that you can lessen how much you're using to save money overall. Quite often when people feel like they make good money, they don't really worry about what they're buying. They will just buy what they need and they feel like they're okay. And they won't really track that spending. And I was one of those people. I made good money. I had money left at the end of the month. And I really didn't track my spending because I didn't see a need for it. It just seemed like an extra burdensome thing to take on. But over the last few months, when inflation has got so high, I thought, no, I'm going to start tracking just to see where I'm at. And by doing that, I've been able to reduce our expenses even more. So I do encourage you to just take a snapshot look at what you are spending. You might be surprised how you can reduce your expenses and find some more of those little amounts that you can put towards those bills that you have to get ahead. So I do want to leave you with this thought. Making money is an action, but saving money is a behavior. And we can all have the ability to change our behaviors to make things easier for ourselves. And I hope that this has been helpful to you. If it has, please give me a thumbs up and maybe share in the comments some things you have done to help yourself get ahead or get back on track. Thanks for watching.